Hi there, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Tales from the Fifth House. My name is Beavsy B. Known, and today my goal is to channel a clear and concise message for you, the viewer. So we are going to dive right in. I do hope that this message finds everyone safe and well. Before I dive in with what the cards are telling me, I was kind of getting like a bit of a channeled message or being called to like share with you guys. I'm so excited. Check out my nails, y'all. I tried something new, which is not typical of me. I'm a fixed sign, Taurus to be exact. I love tried and true. I love tradition. I love, the mentality if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I've been realizing and learning that, growth rarely happens in our comfort zone, and I do really cherish comfort and I do prioritize comfort, but sometimes we need to be uncomfortable in order for things to like shift and change. And that's been like a reoccurring theme in my life. Like I'm trying new things. And it could be simple things like literally just getting a new set that I've never gotten before. It could be trying new foods, meeting new types of people, all things that I've been doing. And I feel like that's part of the message for the collective. It's time to try something new, shake things up. But let's see what the cards have to say. I'm going to dive right in. I'm using my Hip Chick tarot deck. I actually owned this deck a few years ago, but it was like burned. And I finally replaced it, and I'm so excited to use it on camera with you all. And then we're going to go into some oracle cards with my Sacred Symbols Oracle, which I'm still learning, but I really love the imagery of the deck. So I'm excited to use that as well. And we'll close out with some dice per usual. As always, do note that tarot is timeless, so it can pick up on past, present, and future energy. So if you're listening, this doesn't sound like your story, then it likely isn't. Please only take what resonates. Tarot is meant to be a confirmation, not like a predictive tool, at least not for me. But I do encourage everyone to listen with an open mind and an open heart, as this might not be your message that you need to hear right now in this very moment, but perhaps there's a little nugget or gem that you can pass along to someone who does need to hear it. But let's dive right in, friends. Yes, let's dive right in. Ooh, so we have a card flying out. We have the Ace of Earth. This is like the Ace of Pentacles, essentially, in the tarot. And I love it because I was just talking about like trying new things, and aces in the tarot represent new beginnings. This is like fresh, kind of young energy, and this has to do with like material things. So you can be like literally trying new things, like I've been saying, creating something new. Something to do with like the material world, the 3D realm. Here is what I'm getting. You're being called to like explore newness. It could even be like, because this is like an earth, a globe, maybe you're being called to like travel, explore new things, new places, again, new people. I've been meeting people from like different countries lately, which has been interesting. But again, maybe that's part of the message. You're being called to like explore is actually what I'm hearing, and looking at this card, but it being a globe. I'm really getting we're being called to explore, and that can look different for different people, but get out of your comfort zone is definitely the vibe. But let's get two more messages for the collective spirit. This could also represent, again, earth energy, so that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and earth signs are kind of known to be very dependable, very reliable, very committed, like consistent even. And maybe you're being called to like break away from that a little bit, or maybe that's the norm and you're being called to kind of shake things up. But let's get some more energy. Okay, well, we have two coming out. Wow, and it's so funny, I saw this card when I was three cards coming out. Okay, bottom of the deck we have the Star. What a beautiful card this is. So the Star card represents kind of faith and hope and optimism, with this being the bottom of the deck energy. I feel like you're being called to be a lot more optimistic, a lot more hopeful about your current circumstances, especially in terms of your material. If you feel like you don't have the resources or kind of material needs, finances, things like that that you need to be successful, this card is reminding you to be hopeful, to be optimistic. Notice her head is like pointed towards the star, so that's what I'm getting from there. Sorry about that. Just wanted to wipe off my camera a little bit. All right, so we have lots of earth energy here. So we have star at the bottom of the deck, and in addition to the ace of earth, we have the 7 of earth, the 7 of create, and the queen of earth. So we have 2 sevens, 7, 7 here. So 7s might be really significant to you at this point. You might be seeing 7s. You might want to look into numerology of 7, 77. But what I'm getting here is that, like, we've in the collective, we've planted the seeds. You see these like little globes, again in conjunction with like the ace of earth, and then we even have the queen of earth here. It's like we've planted the seeds, and now it's time to kind of like sit back and kind of revel in the fruits of our labor. Like, we've done the work, and I just love her vibe. Like, look at her, she is chilling. And she's looking back and like proud on the work that she does. And typically in the tarot, the 7 of Pentacles is all about like having patience. And again, we did have the star card here, which is all about being optimistic and hopeful. So maybe you've had to be really patient while you wait for these seeds to sow. Maybe you're still waiting, and that's okay. I feel like Spirit is just saying, like, continue to nurture these seeds, and more importantly, continue to nurture yourself. You see, we have this flower coming out of her head. We have this woman with the globes and flowers kind of daydreaming or like thinking. I'm getting real big like daydreaming vibes. Let me make sure that focuses. Awesome. And like thinking about what it is that you want to create, what you're trying to bring down into the 3D realm. And this is not an easy process. We do have the 7 of create, which is normally like the 7 of wands, which could signify like competition or like defensiveness. But in this particular deck, she's climbing a mountain, which I really love the symbolism in conjunction with like this message. And like, you're not quite at the top yet, but you're also not at the bottom. You are making progress. You are taking the steps needed to create the life that you want. And oftentimes this is an internal process. I am a true believer in that the change always happens within first before we can see it in like the 3D realm, the external. But you're going to see it again, and you have so much earth here. And I think this is Spirit just reminding you to like hold on. Like, you're not there yet, but look, things are sprouting. Your seeds are sprouting, and the more hopeful you are, the more optimistic you are about this, about what's to come, about what you're creating in the 3D, I feel like the smoother this kind of process will be. And I did a reading with a coworker not too long ago, and I may upload that. Still thinking about it, but basically a big part of her message was that, like, you know, the journey is all we have, and it's like success is guaranteed. Like, the things that you want to create, give birth, and bring down essentially into the 3D realm are coming. They're all here and present with all this earth energy. But it takes time, and like the journey is the process. Like, you have to enjoy the journey, or not that you have to, but it's best to enjoy the journey, because if not, you're worrying the whole time, which takes away from what should be a beautiful, enjoyable process. That's not to say life doesn't have challenges, like again, she's climbing a mountain. I'm sure that's tiring, it's exhausting, it takes a lot of strength and determination. She might face challenges, but the growth is still happening, and we are meant to enjoy this process, especially as spiritual beings having a human experience. We're meant to kind of take what's given to us and create, in my opinion, the life that we want. And I feel like many of us in the collective are on the way to doing just that. We just have to have a little bit more patience with ourselves, continue to be hopeful that the seeds that we've sown and have nurtured all this time are blooming. I'm not going to say will bloom. They are blooming, whether that's in small or big ways. But it's up to us to have the perceptive kind of lens to pick up on that. So let's get some oracle cards. Really beautiful energy, really beautiful reading. Let's get some oracle cards. I'm being called to get 2. I keep seeing new moon. I just saw new moon and trust. I believe there is a new moon coming up. New moons are great for like manifesting, calling in the things that you want. And again, trust that you've been doing the work, and when you're doing the work, it's going to pay off in seen and sometimes unseen ways. But that doubt that comes while we wait for things to present themselves in the 3D can be really challenging. But I feel like Spirit just wants you to trust that you've been doing the work, and that everything, all the seeds that you sowed, weren't in vain. Let's get some oracle cards. How many is that? That's a bit too many, so I'm not going to take them. Just 2, Spirit. And get 1 to start. Okay, so we have 1. Let's get 1 more, Spirit. 2. Beautiful. Ooh, at the bottom we have magic with the number 3. And this is, again, pentacle energy, earth energy. So I feel like something is brewing in the collective. Again, those seeds are blossoming, they're blooming, but we do have time. And I love this because, like, divine timing is so real, and like our concept of time has been warped by so many like man-made constructs, so many things that like lead us to believe that we're out of time or things are moving too slow. But it's like divine timing is the most important, because you will not receive anything before it's time, and that's for the best, because you don't want to receive a blessing or something and you're not equipped or in the right space to maintain it, and to nurture it and to keep it going. So I feel like this is just like trust in divine time. Trust that the things, again, the seeds that you've sown will bloom, are blooming, and you'll receive all the things that you've been working really hard to bring into the 3D at the right time, and not a moment sooner. And then we have protection. And I feel like this is self-explanatory. Like, you are protected on this journey, even though you're still climbing that mountain, even though you might face obstacles and challenges. You are still going to end up exactly where you need to be, more importantly, where you want to be. It's just going to take some time, friends. And that's all we got. Literally, that's all we got while we're here is time. And it's up to us to make the best out of it. But I am going to read out of the book for those 2 cards, just because, like I said, I'm getting acquainted with this deck. So for protection, we have: you are protected. You are safe in all matters of the body, mind, and spirit. Your highest guidance has you covered on all fronts. Do not delay in moving forward. If inquiring about a relationship, situation, or how to proceed, please take this as a sign that you are taken care of, and harm to none will be had. Meditate on this symbol when you feel like you need to strengthen your energy. Symbol is the helm of all. This is a Norse Viking rune, often used when petitioning the gods for protection in battle. And it kind of gives me like compass vibes, just this imagery. And I did start off this reading talking about exploring new things, and maybe even exploring new places. Traveling might be in the cards, but just to reiterate what was already said, you are protected. What is yours will always be yours. No one, nothing can stop that. There could be blockages, but a delay is not denial. And that's something that a reader told me that has really stuck with me since. Because oftentimes, again, when thinking about time, and I'm going to get into that card next, because things don't happen on our time or when we want, we often think they're not happening at all. But like, the material realm and the 3D realm are 2 different spaces, and a lot could be happening behind the scenes. Again, we did have that magic card that is unseen to us. So it's important we just let the divine do its thing and trust. I did see that card earlier, trust that everything is working out for the highest good of all in divine timing. But let's get into this last card of time before we roll some dice. Divine timing is everything. You are not stuck or heading in the wrong direction. Drawing the hourglass asks you to have patience with whatever your current situation is. All will come to pass when the moment is just right. This card can indicate also that something you are waiting for is just on the horizon. And again, I definitely spoke about the Seven of Earth. Usually the Seven of Pentacles in the tarot being one card of patience, and like, she's not fretting while she waits. Like, she's like, look at all the little seeds, the little worlds I've planted, all the things I've created. She's chilling while she waits for this to happen. And I think that's like the whole idea of like stopping and smelling the roses, and enjoying the process, and not becoming overwhelmed, burdened by it. But let's continue. It says symbol, hourglass. The hourglass gained popularity in the early Middle Ages to tell the passing of time. Its popularity rose with marine sandglasses on ships at sea. Most notoriously, they were used by pirates on their flag to strike fear into the hearts of their victims. Very interesting symbolism there. But again, I loved how the card said something that you're waiting for is right on the horizon. If you're anything like me, you might be waiting on some big manifestations. There's some things I've been working on, I can honestly say, for the last 2-3+ years that still haven't quite presented themselves in the 3D. And like, my faith has wavered. I'd be lying if I said that it didn't. But the signs are there. I know I did the work, and I realized that all the false starts and the false kind of manifestations when I thought I was getting what I truly asked for, in hindsight, after some time has passed, I see that that's actually, it wasn't it, and it's for the best that things turned out how they did, because I do believe that it's all getting me closer to exactly where I need to be. So let's roll some story dice and then some astrological dice, just for extra confirmation or more insights into this energy. All right. Oh, so we have the compass again, very similar to the protection card. So I feel like that's just confirmation. We have this speech bubble here. So maybe you're being called to like talk about this, you know, write about it, like maybe talk about some of the goals that you have with a trusted confidant, of course, not someone who's going to rain on your parade, but someone who does see your vision. We do have an apple as well. When I think of apples, I think about school. Well, I'm thinking about school and learning lessons and like giving an apple to your teacher, and also an apple a day keeps the doctor away, which is coming to mind. So maybe that's significant to someone. And then we have a bee here. And as you know, like, bees are hard workers, worker bees. And they all kind of work towards a common shared goal. And I feel like Spirit wants you to continue to work on your goals. And more importantly, continue to work on yourself. Trusting that your seeds will sow, they'll bloom, you'll receive all the fruits of your labor in due time. But to close us out, I'm going to roll some astrological dice. If a sign, you know, prominent in your chart comes up, that can be extra confirmation, but this is really more about energy than anything else. So let's see what we get. So we have 3rd house, 9th house, and Leo. So we have Leo, Gemini, and Sag. This is the 2nd reading in a row where I've gotten Gemini and Sag. Those are sister signs, both mutable energies, and that's all about, again, being adaptable, being flexible. Again, while you wait, which I feel like is a sign, while you wait, like, explore new things, try new things, like, live a little, especially if you've been grinding, working really hard on bringing a particular manifestation to life. Maybe Spirit wants you to take a little break. Geminis and Sagittarius are known for being really social, kind of high energy, fun types of people, generally speaking. And maybe you're being called to like embrace some of that like lightheartedness, that free spiritedness energy that both of those signs have. And then we have Leo here, which is fixed fire, and I think it did land close to the 7 of Create, which is all about like passion and your drive and your willpower. And Leos are very passionate. That's part of their design, and I feel like Spirit wants you to not lose faith, not lose passion in your dreams, and continue to like kind of nurture yourself and pour into yourself, and be gentle with yourself and give yourself grace on this journey to you know, creating the life that you want for yourself, because it's very evident that you're doing the work with all this earth energy here. You've been consistent, you've been doing the damn thing, and it's like it will pay off. But you have to remain faithful, you have to remain optimistic. You don't want your doubts to start to like creep into your reality, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to end it there, and I do hope that this resonated with all who watch it. Feel free to let me know if it did in the comments, and I'll check you on the next, or I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.